Alright, it looks like I'm live. Welcome to the day number 38. 38 days. That's a lot, right? Let me write welcome to the day number 38. And today, so first, okay, here live on Twitch, awesome. So I decided to finally make at least small advertisement of my channel on LinkedIn. And I'm gonna do it through launching community here on Discord. Basically, so what I want to do is I want to invite people who are interested in building a business into this community, but I want to leverage my LinkedIn following because so far I didn't connect the dots. So I didn't have I didn't connect like I have a little bit of LinkedIn audience, but I never really advertised neither my YouTube channel or this Discord or anything, for the reason because it's just a hobby for me. I have never intended, I have never even thought that I'm gonna organize a Discord channel. But if we already that far, if we already organize a Discord channel, if we already have some kind of forming a community here, then why not just kind of coming out and saying for people who are following me on LinkedIn that we are doing this thing? I think it's gonna be great. Great way. And I know, so I know that it's gonna basically mean that a lot of people gonna most likely gonna join this channel that are not really gonna be not really that engaged. But why not I'm okay with that. It's gonna filter out itself, and after a couple of weeks we're gonna see that so some people gonna stick, some people won't. That's fine. Recap what I'm building. I am building learnapex.com. LearnApex is an interactive platform to learn Apex. Basically, this platform is gonna automatically take you from complete zero, complete beginner, to being a Salesforce developer. And this is gonna be the first platform ever in the Salesforce ecosystem like this. The whole idea behind this platform, if you go here to modules, so we can see here, you can see that we have 3 modules. We have simple Apex, we have Sokol, and syntax. For example, if we go to syntax, and if we go to, let's say we want to learn classes, we go to classes, you can see here an explanation of the classes, and then this is the whole idea. You can solve the tasks directly here. So create a class car. So let's say I want to create a public class, and let's say I'm gonna call it yeah, let's do here car, and I run the code. Ta-da-dum. Task is solved. And like this, we go over everything that you need as a beginner. We don't have everything, so we don't have more advanced Apex topics like triggers, but it's coming in the next couple of months. And also the interesting part about it, that once you buy here, we're gonna change it to one-time fee. So I'm gonna show you. Check out products, where the products, here the platform. So if you buy here the access, you just pay one-time fee, and that's it. So if we ever make, I mean, we will make a little bit more content to this website. So once we make more content, you will automatically get this content. That's the best part. Okay, let me check. Let me check that I'm live everywhere. So the plan for today is let me check here. Let me open Twitch here so that I can see. Oopsie. All right. Yeah, looks good. So the plan for today, webinar, we are almost done with the webinar. That was yesterday. So the plan for today, finish community video. The idea is to organize people who are interested or who want to build a business in the Salesforce community into this Discord server. let's see how it goes. I don't know. For me, it's just a hobby. I have no intent behind this Discord stuff. But if we already started, why not just doing it properly? Why not organizing people? Why not trying to build a community around around building or starting a business in Salesforce ecosystem, or quite frankly, Salesforce or not Salesforce ecosystem? All the ecosystems are quite the same for starting a business. So yeah, I already have a video, and I was editing it yesterday. Get ready for tears. The video is good. The video is much better than I expected. For whatever reason, I was in the mood yesterday, and for whatever reason, the video turns out a little bit. So prepare your tears. Prepare your tears. I tell my story there. I tell my story, and even if the community launch itself will not be successful, the video I think is really good. So the worst what happens is that the video is gonna just tell my story. This is the worst that can happen. Okay. So here's the video. For those who are watching, that's the video. And I didn't watch it today, so let me rewatch so that I know what I'm gonna be editing today. Let me watch and see what I can modify here. You can't hear it, right? You can't hear it. Now you should be able to hear it. I'm launching a free community for entrepreneurs. But before I go into the details, here's my story. I was born and raised in Ukraine, and I always dreamed about two things. First is getting out of the poverty, and the second is running my own business. But here was the problem. I didn't know anything about business. I actually that's super true. Like I had two goals. First, I want to earn at least some money so that I can live out of the money. So I desperately wanted to go out of Ukraine, and because I didn't grow up in wealthy family or something, so I really wanted to go out of this poverty and kind of live in a European good country. And that was my dream. I wouldn't say that I still kind of stick to this dream. I think you can live good even in Ukraine or in any other third world country if you find a way to earn substantial money for that country. So I don't see now it as such a big of a problem, but still the quality of life in Germany, for example, and Ukraine is very different. And that was my goal. And that's why Germany. And the second goal was running my own business, because my parents, they own a small business, quite small one. They have few employees, few shops, and I always wanted to run my own business, kind of liked it. And I always wanted, I also always tried to do that. No one to teach me, and I had absolutely zero skills. So the best thing that I could think of is learning how to code. Not that many. So I got my life together. I learned how to code. I learned German language, and I moved to Germany alone. I left everything in Ukraine. I left all my friends, my family, all connections in Ukraine. And I moved completely alone to Germany. I was 19. I didn't know anyone there. Because of my coding skills, I was accepted into the band. I moved to... Hey, amazing. Hey, welcome. I moved to Germany, yeah, alone, but not that I had that many friends in Ukraine. Like, yeah, I did have a family, but it wasn't that big of a sacrifice back then. And it was kind of, I was not running from something, right? I was basically going to the new life, so I was quite happy. It's been a while. Yeah, welcome. Best technical university in Germany, and I was working hard for 4 years as a Salesforce developer. And all these 4 years, I was launching a lot of different businesses. I was trying to make it, and I failed for 4 years. And finally, 1 year ago, I started teaching Apex, and it kind of took off. Now I can even make a living out of it. You wanna say the dream came true. But turns out starting a business is just the first and quite an easy step. The actual hard part is running a profitable business and make a substantial money out of it. And you're from Ukraine. Yeah, I was born in Ukraine, but I've been living in Germany for a very long time. So this is the thing with immigrants. I'm an immigrant, okay, so you're kind of born and probably raised through your childhood in one country, but then you move into another country and you kind of don't have that many connections anymore to your country where you were born. So I was born in Ukraine, and I have zero friends in Ukraine. Like if I go back to Ukraine, I wouldn't even know where to hang out with whom. I know zero people there in Ukraine. I mean, not that I wanna go now in Ukraine, but yeah. So and you're kind of going into the culture into another country. You're going into the culture into completely another culture that you're not really part of, and you have to kind of integrate. So I think it's a very weird situation for a lot of immigrants because you kind of have two countries where you belong. You have your original country and the country where you immigrated. It's a very strange feeling because I'm not German. That's sure. Like I don't feel German, even though I speak German, but I'm not German for sure. But I'm not really Ukrainian anymore because I have nothing in Ukraine except family. So it's kind of a very weird position to be in as an immigrant, and it kind of feels very strange sometimes. Now there are very few people who are running a business in the Salesforce ecosystem. I want to change it. Salesforce ecosystem is made out of people like me and you. Salesforce ecosystem is only as good as we make it. And the best way to improve Salesforce ecosystem is to start your own, even a small thing. And I want to empower more people to start their own business in the Salesforce ecosystem by forming a community of people who are interested into these things. And I'm not a business guru. Hey, in most cases, You're still Ukrainian. I disagree. Like, yes, I'm still kind of Ukrainian, but what connects me to Ukraine? Like, nothing. Where in Ukraine did you grow up? In Kiev, in the capital. I do speak Ukrainian, of course. Like, I speak Ukrainian with my family, for example. But I have no idea how life in Ukraine is. Like, I have no idea. If I go to Ukraine, I don't even, like, I don't know where to go to register or something. And I'm gonna get in the next, if everything goes good, I'm gonna get my German citizenship in the next couple of years. Like, I know much better how Germany works than how Ukraine works. I don't even know what I'm doing and where I'm going. I don't even know how to run my own business. I didn't figure it out. But I know that I'm not alone. And I know that together we can make it better. I know that together we can figure out things much quicker than alone. And I know that together we can change our own life and the life of people in the Salesforce ecosystem. The goal of the community is to help everyone to go from complete zero, from idea to running own business. The community is completely free. And I have nothing to sell you. I'm running courses that teaching Apex, and I've been streaming how I built my own business in this community for the last 38 days, every single day. So join the community and let's build awesome businesses together. See you there. That's the video. I have never been to Ukraine and I am still considered Ukrainian a bit. How come? How come? Yeah. It's all free. Yeah, didn't you join? Did you join the Discord? If you didn't, join. Well, I don't really have. So here's the thing. My whole Discord thing. This is just a hobby. Like I'm not gonna spend. This is the last. I promise. This is the last thing that I spent on that. Like I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm gonna be spending time managing the Discord channel, but the Discord server. But in general, it's just a hobby. It's just to keep everyone together. There's no link to be in Discord. Okay. I'm gonna write you join Discord here. Yep. Yeah. Sure. Here's the link. So that's basically the video that I have, and I'm gonna share this. It's a little bit. So what I don't like about this video, it's so cheesy. Like what the hell? It's so cheesy. And my speaking is not perfect there, but that's fine. That's fine. Whatever. It's better to do something than nothing, right? So I'm gonna advertise it once on my LinkedIn, never again. And yeah, and this is also, I need to, at some point, I'm gonna also advertise my YouTube channel there directly, because this is more like a Discord advertisement. But yeah, I mean, worst case, we're just gonna get some people. I hope that, okay, if we can get few people to hang out with us from the Salesforce ecosystem, that would be already a win, right? Right? You joined. Nice. Right in the introduction. Okay. So, I think it's good enough actually for the video itself. I'm gonna. I don't wanna. So I don't wanna. I don't wanna spend much more time on it. You speak Ukrainian, but what about Russian? Yeah, I speak also Russian. Unfortunately. Okay, now it's gonna be rendered. I hope it's not gonna influence the bitrate of the stream. So yeah, I don't want to spend much time on it. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna schedule it. I'm gonna add the subtitles now in the descript. We're gonna schedule it, and that's it. And we're gonna forget about it, because this is not my main focus. This is just a hobby. This is you speak Russian but not Ukrainian. Well, if you have, is it like you have parents from Ukraine or Russia or something? If you have parents from Ukraine, that's quite common, because Russian is much more popular language than Ukrainian, so it's much easier to learn. It's harder to learn in terms of how hard the language itself is, but it's easier to learn because there's just much more material on the internet and people who learn it. Okay, so this done. General. That's done. Now, very quick descript. So I'm gonna do it, and that's it. And then I'm gonna go and actually work on my real business, not this thing, because that doesn't make me money. That is just a hobby that I would like to do. So desktop videos, community launch version 1. My parents were in Ukraine ages ago. Ah, okay, I see. Australia, right? They immigrated to Australia. The internet, fuck this internet. Oh my god, this is so annoying. My bad internet is back. Dr. Wolf, hi. Yep, my internet is struggling. Yeah, I think it will be good. I went to the to the guys to speak about internet. So I walked there. I had a time. I just was around the shop. Illuminati, hi. So I was around the shop. I'm walking in. That's Vodafone. I'm walking into the Vodafone. There's a woman who speaks a little bit of German, like broken German, which I also speak, not the perfect German. So we both kind of speak not perfect German. So I tell her a story that, in most cases the internet works, but sometimes it sucks so much that you can't do anything. And she asks me a simple question. So, what is your client number? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, then we can't do anything. Go and find your client number, then go back. That's the whole story. That's the whole story. There's no there's no. Yeah, that was my try. Who? Henry who? Henry Henry Moody. Who is that? Oh my god. Who is this guy? I guess thank you because he looks quite good. So I'm gonna take it as a compliment. That's not true. I clicked on the memes. I clicked on the memes. So the memes. Okay. Um, Henry definitely has much better hair style than I do. Okay. So, well, I need to do something with my hair actually. I'm just I'm just all the time I'm very cheap on the haircut. To check in the database. That's the thing. You need to know. I said she said me. So what do you know? Do you know any type of information? And I was like, I just know I just know where I'm living. I just know where I'm living. That's it. So yeah, let's check out the video. I'm launching a free community for entrepreneurs. But before I go into the details, here's my story. I was born and raised in Ukraine, and I always dreamed about two things. First is getting out of the poverty, and the second is running my own business. I moved to Germany alone. Anyone there. Because of my coding skills, I think a business is just the first and best way to improve Salesforce ecosystem. I know that I'm not alone, and I Okay, this is quite good. I'm not gonna watch the whole video. This is quite good. I like the captions, and I'm gonna export and I'm gonna say v2. So whoever is now in the Discord channel, get ready. I think few people gonna join today around 5. So I'm usually posting it out around 5, and because 5 is kind of a time where US is already woke up, and for US it's lunch, so they take a lunch, and for everyone in Europe they already finished the work, the job. Yeah, that's the thing in Germany, you know, like if I even if I just go and tell them where I live, the name, blah blah blah, they're like, oh, I can't because I can't do anything because I need to have a client number. That's like that's so stupid. But this is Germany. I'm already used to it. Like um, this is how things work here. Okay, let me put a focus here on 2 hours. Why does it take so long to export this video? You know what's missing? A motivational music to this video. That's what's missing. Um, but that's fine. I don't care that much about it. It's not my main thing, so I don't really care that much. Okay, so finish community video, and by finish I mean finish and schedule. So we're not done with it, but after we're done with it, I'm gonna be finish webinar. Because we do need to finish the webinar. This is the main thing. This is what I've been doing. Oh, come on. Where's the 81%? Why is it so long? It's just captions. The video is really cheesy though. Okay, let's see. Let's in the meanwhile, let's think what I want to write there. Nah, that's not a distraction. I am launching a free community for entrepreneurs Link in the comments. The community is for you if you wanted to start a business in Salesforce. You you're running, you're a freelancer. Third, you're running a business and want to scale to 10K taken month or something. This is a hobby project for me. So I will be happy to see you there. And I am streaming on YouTube and Twitch how I'm building Cloud Prism. How I'm building Cloud Prism. See you all there. See you all there. Nice. Think it's good. Okay, finally exported. Now adding the video. Desktop. Videos. Community launch. Version 2. How come that such a big difference in size file? Let me actually check that this is the thing that I wanna send. Version 2. Looks suspicious. If you ever need help with managing the Discord, I would be happy to help. Yeah, I definitely gonna need, so yeah. Just write me on Discord and I'm gonna give you permissions. Hey, why is it not playing? Okay. I'm launching a free community for entrepreneurs. But before I go into the details, here's my story. Oh yeah, that's fine. So let's add this thing. Next. And I'm gonna schedule it today for 5 p.m. Yeah, I think it's good. Right, that's fine. 5 p.m. Next. Schedule. And let's also do a YouTube video. And I'm gonna call it join this community if you want to start business in Salesforce. And I'm gonna paste here. Okay, see it there. And we also need a thumbnail. Thumbnails. Let's see. Let's copy this one, but is it good enough for thumbnail? That's good enough. That's good enough. Mm-hmm. If you want to start a business in Salesforce. Yep, that seems to be fine. Next. Visibility. Should we publish it immediately? Why not? The YouTube algorithm is slow anyway, so it's for the first hour, I would say, no one really watches it. Okay, so I think that's good. Publish. Nice. And this is scheduled as well. Nice. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I don't want to spend much more time on it because that's not my main thing. Not main thing. So let's get back to actual work. It's time to get some work done. This is done. Now I need to finish this webinar that's been bothering me for a very long time. Come on, click on it. Okay, so from admin to developer. Let's see, what do we have? We have this. Why should you listen to me? Those things. This webinar is for you if you're admin, architect, blah blah blah, especially for you, blah blah blah. Secret number 1, how to deploy first code already next month. How many of you think that you need to learn Apex to become a Salesforce developer? No, wrong. In most cases, don't need to learn Apex, you need to learn coding. It took me 1 week. To learn Apex. And that's not because I'm super good developer or something. No, it's because if you already know how to code, learning Apex itself is an easy task. So how can you do that? And let me write down. It's not because I'm good at development. It's because once you have decent programming skills, Apex itself is not that big of a deal. So it's important. To differentiate between learning how to code and learning how and learning programming. What's the difference? What's the difference? Well, the difference is that the nearest analogy I can think of is this one. So let's say you want to write a book. Let's say you want to write a book, and let's give an example in German. In German, first you need to learn how to actually write any German sentence, how to put the words together, and you need to learn the words, right? And let me put a little bit of music. Sorry for that. Now it should be good. I like the song. Let me save it. So first you need to learn how to structure sentence. How to structure sentence in German. Only once. How to structure sentence in German. How to put words together. The grammar. The grammar and all of that. And only then you can think about the story and how to write. See you. And how to write a good story, right? What most people do is trying to write a story without properly learn how to learn the grammar. And if I make analogy with writing a book, that's quite obvious, and people are like, yeah, of course it's not gonna work, it's gonna be very shitty if you don't know the grammar of the language. Well, maybe you will be able to write something with ChatGPT, but it's gonna be very shitty. And when we speak about programming languages, yeah, people don't think about it. Like, people are like, oh, why would I need to learn what is the loop, what is the variable, why would I spend time on it? Let me go and solve some triggers immediately, because that's what Trailhead says. No! Most people do is trying to write a story without properly learning grammar. When I speak about a book, it's like but about coding, but then you go and try to learn triggers in your first month of studying coding. It's not gonna work. It's not going to work. I mean, for some people it's gonna work, but it's gonna be very, 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 very. It's like you're trying. So I totally get what people try to do. They try to make a shortcut, right? They try you like, this is such a nice idea. Oh, I can already go so quick from not knowing anything and writing, because especially in Salesforce gives you such an easy tool to do that. Like in Salesforce, you can without much of the coding knowledge, you can go and write something and some kind of automations, but it's gonna be so bad, and you're gonna be missing a lot of things, and which is kind of fine, but it depends what is your goal. Like if you really want to become a developer and if you really want to get good at development, that's one thing. If you just want to get something quick done, that's another thing. Like if you really just want to get something very quick done, that's the way to go. But if not, then it's not a good approach. Okay. So there are only 12 most important beginner topics. Only 12. You just need to learn all of these 12 topics, and that's it. You will not become developer, but you will learn how to code. You will properly understand the fundamentals, and it might seem as a slowdown in the beginning, but on the longer terms, that's the right way to approach things. Like a slowdown, but you will move quicker by moving slower in the beginning. Here are the 12 topics. You can find them in the free guide that I'll send you. It's one of the pages. It's one of the pages. So now I need here some kind of transition, because learning those. Okay, so this is the transition. Learning those 12 topics take around 240 hours. I would say more actually. So 12, let's say, multiplied by 40, 480. Yeah, I would say so. If you do it alone, I would say it's like 40. So I would say like this, and if you get some help, it's more like 15 something. So 12 by 15, 180. Yeah, I mean this is, yeah, 180. Yeah, 80. Yeah, I think it's more accurate. Six hours a day for 30 days. Or if we divide it by 12 weeks, what is the 12 weeks? 12 weeks by 7. How much is that? 2 hours. Or 2 hours a day for 12 weeks. And I think I can make those separate. So it's 6 hours per day or 2 hours. Or I'm not gonna include the calculation. And here I need to... like this. Hours and hours. Okay. Okay, so option 1. You learn on your own. Around 500 hours. Or you get some help from the course or from the mentor. 180 hours. So if you're willing to pay for the shortcut, that's the better way. 6 hours a day. So 180 hours, what it means? It means just 6 hours a day for 30 days. So if you have free time and you grind for 30 days without breaks for 6 hours a day, you will learn the basics of programming in 1 month. Or you go and you learn for 2 hours a day for 12 weeks and you learn the basics. And at first it feels... okay, so how do I know? How do I know? That's the question, right? How do I know? How do I know? Well, I've seen it with 20 plus students. How do I know? So I've seen it with 20 plus students. And in all the cases, there was only one reason why a person failed to learn Salesforce development. For failing. Giving up. Like that's the only one reason. And that's literally like everyone who just gave up, that's the only one reason why they failed. I have never seen a person who spent a lot of time learning Salesforce development or coding in general and never got it. It never happened. Because programming is not something special. It's just a skill. It's like learning how to read. Yes, some people gonna have a little bit more time to learn how to read. Some people gonna have it quicker. The same with coding, but if you spend enough time, you will get there. That's guaranteed. Just spend enough time. Don't give up. So how do I know? I saw over 20 people. I would say even more than 20 people. Like I saw around 100 people who were trying to learn how to code. But I personally was speaking to that, like much more closer to around 20 people. So how do I know? People just gave up. That's it. That's it. They were all the time on a really good track, but they didn't have time. They didn't make time for learning how to code, or they didn't spend enough time. They didn't make enough time for learning how to code, or they didn't or they gave up after a short period of time. So if you don't give up for 200 hours, 500 hours, 1,000 hours, you will guaranteed get there. So how to deploy the code already next month? Just study for 120 hours. Just study for at least 120 hours. And when I read it, I think, oh the hi. I think how much about what I'm talking here, how much of that applies to building a business? I think a lot. I think if you spend just the amount of hours is much greater, because business is just so much more other stuff. So it's not definitely 200 hours, that's for sure not. It's more like 2000 maybe. And it's also much harder because with coding you have clear path and you have very clear resources, and with the business it's not really clear. Maybe it's even the same amount of hours, but it's just not clear because you don't have any clear resources. You don't have an outlined path like, hey, here's step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. Because as soon as you create this like step-by-step plan, it gets overcrowded, like with the drop shipping or whatever other stuff is cool right now, and that's not a viable plan anymore. Okay, so just study for at least 120 hours. I mean, it's not just, it's actually hard. It's the hardest part. The hardest part is to stick to it, not to give up. So that's the secret one, right? Yeah, secret one. How to deploy your first code already next month. How do you know? So how do I know? I saw it. And now here I can include Ruby. I hope, Ruby, you're fine if I include your example. Still gonna need to ask you though. How do I know? I mean, I can put here any other name. It just doesn't matter. But Ruby is the real example that I have. Okay. So how do you know? I saw it. I saw it with my students who failed or succeeded. How do I write succeeded? Succeeded. Failed or succeeded. Example, Ruby. She's a really good example. She solved 255 tasks approximately, until she could deploy the first code in production. And it's 96 hours. 96 hours. So she saved 128 hours, which is 4,000. Which is good. So what is the reason? What is the reason most people fail? There was only one reason that I saw. Giving up. That's the only one reason. So how to deploy the code already next month? Just go and study for 120 hours. That's it. Secret number 2. How to start with Salesforce without any previous coding knowledge. I wanna have some image here. Let's see if it works. Okay, how to start with Salesforce without any previous coding knowledge. Everyone is self-taught. Everyone. everyone is a self-taught developer. Yes, you can make some, you can learn something at the university. Yes, you can go to college, but the thing is that coding at the end is just something that you have to practice on your own as well. There's no single course where you can avoid going and writing code on your own. There's no way. There's no way. Unfortunately, I wish there was, but there's no way. So you do need to practice on your own. Let me change the music. It's very annoying music. Nice. That's a chill one. I want to make it at least 50 font. Already next month. Okay, 50. Oops. How to learn code? Coding. Learn how to code, learn how to program. 50. That should be 50 as well. And I would not make it bold. I don't know why it's bold. Learn to write words, learn to put words into the story. And there are only 12 most important topics for to start with. Okay, option 1, option 2. Everywhere I have different size of the font. Here's 47. Why is it suddenly 47? Okay, here's 47. Okay, that's strange. Why here's 35, not 47, for example? 47, 47, 47, 47. And here should be 50. Here doesn't really matter. Here should be 50 as well. Nice. Everyone is a self-taught developer. Right? Right. Oh, I actually have a real picture of me back then. I mean, this guy looks kind of like me, right? When I learned coding. So the point is, it's not that I'm bragging that I was quite young when I learned coding. The point is that I was not smart at all. Like, you think you can outcompete a 17 years old Ukrainian teen? Yeah, you can if you find enough time. I had just insane willingness to learn. I was spending every waking moment learning how to code for 8 months. And I had just insane, I don't know, motivation to do that. And I was not smart. I didn't really know how to do it. I was not smart. But because I had so much desire, I was able to do that. Okay, so here's the framework that I used. I'm gonna use 50 font here. And here it's gonna be 47. Bit 1 and 3. And another mistake is most likely the biggest mistake people do is underestimating the amount of practice you need. Let me make it, what, 50? The amount of practice you need. Practice. Let me put it here. Practice over theory. Bigger than. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this section and then we're gonna go watch something more fun. Okay, practice over theory. Okay, that goes into the notes as well. So how much practice do you need? And where's my... How much practice? How much practice do you need? I would say 80% of... That's actually a nice one. That doesn't make sense here. Like, I can only decide between two colors, and the color for 20% is not... That doesn't make sense. So 80% should be practice. 80%, so let's say you want to spend, you need 500 hours. 500 hours, that would be, what, 500 hours, 80%. That would be that many hours, 480. Or if you need, like Ruby, you need 85 hours. That would be 96, not 85, 96. 96, that would be just 77 hours. Let's round it up. 77 hours. Which with 77 hours, usually it means that we make it even smaller. 7. Usually it means 480 tasks to solve. Here it means 77 tasks. 80%, right? So you need 80% of practice, and everything else can be the theory. Okay, and again for Ruby it was 255 tasks. For math, another example, math 47. Oh, well, 47, 104. Oh my god, my brain today. Or I would say approximately 100 tasks. So those are realistic numbers from my experience. It's not that I just came up with those numbers. No, it's from my experience, something that I see in my students. 50. Okay, so just use my framework. So instead of asking how to learn Salesforce development, just ask yourself, where can I find theory, practice, and projects? Just ask these questions. You don't need to ask about projects because that's usually something that you can come up with on your own. That's not something that you need external help. If you can't come up with projects, that's strange. It should be quite easy to come up with projects. It's gonna be 47. It's gonna be 47 as well. Okay. You can come up with projects on your own, and I'm gonna make it h5. So that's a little bit smaller. Okay. So here's what people say. Hey, where do I start? Trailhead. No, terrible. Trailhead is documentation with quizzes. I'll send you step by step. So just a reminder that, that everything in this, everything will be also included in the free guide. Okay, so secret number 3. You may be wondering, so how do I know what to study to increase my market value, and in general, like, how do I know what to study exactly? Okay, I know that you say how much it's gonna take, so how do I actually find those things, right? How do I actually find those materials? I got you covered. That's what I'm gonna say, but let's do it a little bit more interactively now, okay? So what's going on here? Okay. Alright, let's watch. There was a YouTube video that I wanted to watch with you guys. And that was this one. Let me stop the music. Okay, let's see what this guy has to say.
I've got the cheat code to sales funnels and I want to share it with you. I just copy and paste this exact sales funnel, and every time I launch it, it makes $1 million for one of my businesses. And I've even taught this to hundreds of clients now, like Robert Chambers, who teaches people how to play piano by ear, and he copied and pasted this funnel and he's making $50,000 a month with it. Lisa and Dana, they teach people interior design and they have a coaching company around that, and they're doing $40,000 a month with this funnel. And now, on that board behind me, I'm gonna go ahead and map out that exact funnel for you so that you can copy and paste it into your business as well. Now, the funnel that we're gonna be talking about is
Sounds promising.
Funnel. And if you have any preconceived ideas about this, then keep those ideas reserved until the end of this video, because the way I teach it is so different to how every other marketing guru teaches it. We keep it so simple, we focus on the things that actually work, and we get extraordinary results in the process. Now, with any great sales funnel, it starts with a page where we're gonna have a bit of a headline, perhaps some more information, and a place for people to opt in.
So this is gonna be the next step. Basically, I am almost done with the webinar, and definitely gonna be done today off stream. But the next step would be actually to create the funnel itself. So to create the whole like landing page and all of that. And I already have the landing page for me, but maybe we can for Cloud Prism, maybe we can tweak it somehow. Maybe we can modify it so that people, because combining all of these things actually is kind of difficult. Like, I have no idea how to do it from the tech perspective. So we're gonna I think tomorrow what, Friday, we're gonna make a whole like brainstorming session to how to build the whole tech around the webinar. Because the last webinar I was doing was it sucked a little bit.
We need to capture their attention. That's why it's also known as a capture page. Now, typically in marketing, we have to create a freebie that we give away in exchange for someone's name and email. It's really time consuming. It takes ages to come up with this idea and then build it and create it and put it on the page. And then that only gets you so far. We now have to create a sales vehicle that we're gonna put them into once they opt in. The great thing about a webinar, and why this is so stupid simple, is that our webinar doubles as the lead magnet, right? What they're opting in for is the ability to register for the webinar that's happening. So we need a capture page anyway to get them registered, but that's also sending people off to join our email list so that we can follow up with them later on. More on that in just a little bit. And we've tested over the years different lead magnets and other lead generation tactics. And what we found is, in addition to this being so simple, it also gets you quality leads on the list. There's something different about someone that's opting in for a free checklist, right? A quick impulsive thing. They're not really serious just yet. They just want the gift, as opposed to someone who's registering for an online training event. That's is someone who's saying, I'm here to learn, I'm here to consume content, and I wouldn't be registering for this thing unless I was really, really interested. So
it doesn't really make sense to have a lot of like a huge email list unless those people are really interested in what you do. So this is why I have, from free stuff that I have, is they're usually bigger things like course, for example. So something where you actually have how to go and struggle a little bit. And this is kind of a filter for people, because if you're not willing to even sit down and to read 12 articles, that's going to be very hard for you to learn Salesforce development.
So we find that the value of people that we get on the list with a webinar is infinitely more, meaning over the course of the next few months and years, these people are worth so much more to our business. Now, on the theme of us keeping this simple, here's what happens when they register for this webinar. They go into the webinar presentation, okay? But we don't have anything happening in between here. They register and they pretty much go straight onto the webinar platform. How is this so? It's because we have automated our webinar presentation. I record it one time, and it doesn't matter if 10 people see it, 100 people see it, or 1,000 people see it, or 10,000 people see it. My time investment to create that asset was exactly the same. So my time is highly leveraged, and this is going to be sitting there and running for me at all times. And what
I'm not gonna do any automated webinars because I do them not that frequently. Not that I wanna do it all the time. Just do it once when I launch the course. So I wanna have this real touch with people. Definitely not going to do the pre-recorded stuff. And it seems weird for me. Like, why would you do that? I mean, I understand. I understand this guy. It's like good leverage on your time, but maybe it works for people who already made it. For those who are like me, we still need to grind the real touch with the audience. And I just enjoy it much more. Like, that's fun to make a webinar live. Like, that's fun to have this this friction of being live. I don't know.
And what we do is we use webinars that are called JIT webinars. It stands for just in time. So whenever someone lands on my capture page, there's always a webinar happening in just a few minutes. It's not that they're just opting in for a piece of video content. They're registering for an event that is happening online, but it's starting in the next few minutes. So they register and they wait for just a few minutes, and boom, they get put into the automated webinar room where they can consume the presentation. And this means that we can get people to watch the webinar in the very moment that they were interested in the topic, right? They're browsing around online, they see my invitation for the webinar, they've clearly got some time in that very moment, and so we get them straight into the webinar, and then we actually find that we have a 70% consumption rate.
That's
Meaning
what.
of people that register,
That's huge.
70% actually show up
Wow.
and watch the webinar. That is really, really high for an automated webinar, in case you're not familiar. Now, you might have two big concerns at this point in the training. The first concern is, are people really going to register for a webinar happening in just a few minutes that's going to last maybe 2 hours or more? Is it going to be a really long webinar?
I don't
Your
have such a
second
concern.
might be, John, I don't want to have to put together a 2-hour-long webinar that sounds
No, the guy didn't guess. Those are not my concern. So my concern with this, first, I don't want to have a pre-recorded stuff. I want to, like, it feels like, you know, when a singer goes on the stage and he starts singing with a pre-recorded voice, like, that's kind of lame. So this is my one concern. Another concern is that because of that, I cannot have a webinar happening in a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna need to have a webinar happening at a certain date. So nothing, those things not gonna work for my case.
It's really laborious. It makes me really nervous to be able to create that much content. What if I do something wrong? Well, we're gonna smash both of those in one hit, because what we do is this webinar from start to finish is only about 30 minutes. 30 minutes. This is just enough time for us to achieve the goal. You might be wondering what the goal is. Great question. The goal is not to sell somebody your product and service directly on the webinar. Instead, we actually want to produce an opportunity for these people to speak to you on the phone. They're going to book a consultation. They're going to book a strategy session. And there are so many benefits to this. I'm going to share with you one of the main ones. If you don't actually attempt to sell someone on the webinar, and the only call to action is to speak with you on the phone, then the webinar doesn't need to be salesy. In fact, the webinar can be full of valuable information that has you feeling great about what you're producing. It takes away the nerves and the anxiety of feeling like you've got to be a salesperson in this webinar. That's completely removed. And you build your authority and their confidence in you, because clearly you're not desperate for the sale. Otherwise you would have asked for it. That's what affords us the ability to make these webinars a lot shorter. Because 30 minutes, and we've tested this, that's all we need to turn someone from a cold prospect who's never heard of us before to a warm prospect saying, I really like the sound of this person, I'd like to speak to them on the phone. If this style of webinar is new to you, I call these high-ticket webinars. There are so many reasons why the old way...
So those are high-ticket webinars. I totally agree, but if you're selling something cheap, not really cheap, what I have, I think that's not gonna work. I don't want to speak to everyone who want to take $300 course something, or $500 course. Like it's not that expensive. You can just decide on your own. But if someone want to take a mentoring, I'm gonna speak to this person for sure, because if you want to take the mentoring package and you want to get actual one-to-one time with me to be mentored for the coding, that's where I'm gonna speak for sure, to make sure that this is the right fit, this actually fits what you want to do, and so that I can see that you're an accountable person, so that I can see that you're actually going into the calls and you're not gonna mess up, not gonna just waste time, especially your time, like yeah. So this is a like high ticket stuff, and I have not high ticket, I have a cheaper stuff.
way of doing webinars where you're selling in them just does not work anymore. And this way of doing it is absolutely crushing it. We're making millions and millions of dollars doing it. If you haven't attended my 2-day online event called Future of Webinars, you really should, because I'll break all this down in excruciating detail. I'll leave a link in the description box if you want to register for that event. We've actually got one coming up really soon. Now, when you've got a business model where you're going to be speaking to prospects to actually convert them into clients, we need to make sure that we're speaking to serious people. I'm sure you would agree. Already, with people booking calls off the back of the webinar, we are generating quality call bookings, because they only had the opportunity to book a call if they made it to the very end of the webinar, right? If they left early, they didn't see this invitation. So already we've got quality people, but we can qualify them further, and this is why this is so powerful, okay? After they book a call, we take them to an application page. And that application page has a series of questions that we're going to ask the prospect. And before we speak to that person,
this is nice.
We're going to make sure that we're happy with the answers to the questions on the form. And we're only going to end up speaking to the people on the phone and attempting to sell them our product and service if we actually liked what we heard here. So we can qualify them around their ability to afford our coaching. We can qualify them based on their understanding of us and how long they've been following us. We can qualify them based on their understanding of the industry. And what we find is, of all the people that fill this out, we actually cancel about 20%, okay? So another 20% gets canceled, and we only speak to the 80% that we actually liked the sound of. Hopefully you can see how simple this is. I mean, we're going to be driving traffic to a page that builds our list. And then off the back of this, they're going to come into a webinar immediately. Most of the people...
I mean, it is indeed very simple funnel. Like, it is simple. And I think I've been through this type of funnel before, actually. Yeah, but it's not for me. It's not for me, because I don't want to build up the whole thing. If you just want to take a course, you should be able to just go and buy the course itself. If you want to take a mentoring, then I would say we can actually include this part. It's actually a good idea. So we can, if you want to take a mentoring, we can. But I can also just open up my Calendly, and that's it. I don't need to make people. Yeah, I'm okay with 20 people unrelevant who go there. That's fine. That's fine. Just gonna open up my Calendly link basically for anyone who wanna take the mentoring part, and then I'm gonna send it in the chat during the webinar, and that's it.
People attend and watch it. The people that aren't serious leave. Those that like your message and appreciated the value that you provided, they moved through to the next step and booked a call with you, and you had a further chance to qualify before you spoke to these people. This is how you can close at such a high rate on the phone. I've got a student called Phil Harris. He's making millions of dollars now teaching people how to DJ and create electronic dance music. And he was using all sorts of other sales funnels and nothing was really working for his business. He copied and pasted this into his business and he increased the price of his coaching from $500 to $5,000. He started selling it on the phone and he was converting at 70%. Meaning if he speaks to 10 people, 7 of them are buying. And he's just started generating over $100,000 in a single month with this. It's incredible. And it gets better from there. This is your business model, keeping it simple, and it works really well. And then we've got the email list. And over the course of the next few months, you can continue emailing these people, sending them off to different offers, reminding them of your services, and you will find that people continue to show their interest and buy your coaching, and you'll get to a point where this will be one of the most valuable assets in your entire business. We as a company right now generate anywhere between $100,000 and $500,000 every month from the promotions that we're doing to this list. So what I want to do now is actually walk you through one of the most important parts of this system to make sure that you implement it correctly. And it's this piece right here. If we can't get this, what we call the front door to the sales funnel working, then it's not going to work, right? Unless we can get people to actually opt in and take us up on the invitation to register for the webinar, then no one's ever going to see this stuff and we're not going to generate any revenue. So I'm going to pull up right now on my laptop my registration page that I use that we've tested to perfection. We know exactly how this page should look, and you can literally copy and paste this exact page and I guarantee it will start working in your business. So this right here is the registration page that has stood the test of time. Notice how we've got 40 seconds left because I told you we have these webinars running every few minutes and we have them running every 15 minutes. So in 30 seconds, there's another session starting. If someone came to this page and registered right now, they would go immediately into the webinar room. But if someone hangs around for another 20 seconds, or if someone just happens to visit this page in, let's say, 3 or 4 minutes, they're going to be landing on a page that has another one starting in a few minutes. So as you can see, the page has now hit 0. And so if I refresh, watch this. The next session is now starting in 14 minutes and 50 seconds. It's an amazing little system. It's so powerful and it's so simple. It makes this whole process really easy. But let me walk you through the design of this page. Because you might say, well, John, when you say design, it doesn't actually look very good. Maybe some of you are watching this and you are designers and you're cringing at the fact that we've got a massive headline, we've got some things bolded and underlined, and we've got capitalization at the beginning of every word. This doesn't look like a page that looks beautiful, but we're not building this page for beauty. We're building this page to get as many people to land here to actually opt in. And so when we test different elements of this page, we're testing it for conversion. We're not testing it to make it look better. And I want to walk you through some of the key ingredients that your webinar registration page needs that I guarantee will increase your registration percentage. First thing, big, bold headline. That is the main thing they see when they land on the page. With a webinar, you don't need loads of information. You don't need an about you section. You don't need videos. You don't need loads of testimonials. It's a very impulsive decision to register for a webinar. And your prospects just need to read the headline and say, do you know what, that topic sounds really interesting. I'm interested, I'd like to register. So we have a big headline, it hits you square in the face, and that headline's got to be benefit driven and it's got to speak to exactly who it is that you want. So here's the headline I have. How coaches and trainers can start getting high-paying clients without a complicated sales funnel or endless social media content. I'm speaking directly to who I want, I'm speaking to their desires, and I'm also speaking to the stuff that they don't want. Then we have a big button, whereas if they click that, it's going to pop up the window where they can put their name and email and register for that upcoming session. And further down the page, we have a few more elements that we find really help the
Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. It's exactly like what we had with the Secret 1, Secret 2, Secret 3. And they all like this. How to convert strangers into blah, blah, blah. How my clients, blah, blah, blah. How to use simple. That's exactly what we had. This is exactly using the same tactic from that, I think, Branson, the guy who we watched last time.
Page. The first is a picture, typically of the person who is hosting the webinar. Here I am on the page, not because I like the look of myself, but because we have found it gives the page a bit of personality. If I've invited someone from a YouTube ad, for example, then when they land on this page, they recognize the personality that's on the page. They recognize me from the YouTube ad, and we find that that really, really helps. And then secondly, we have some bullet points. And these bullet points act as a support for the main headline. If somebody landed on this page and the headline interested them enough to register, fantastic. But there will be some people that read this headline and it's not quite enough to get them to register, but they linger on the page. And so for those people lingering, we need to give them another reason to register for this event. And so we've actually got three. We've got the first bullet point, the second, and the third. These are things that you're going to be covering in your webinar presentation, but we're mentioning them here on the page because it's another chance and another chance and another chance for the prospect to read it and say, that sounds really interesting, I'd like to register. So now there's just one more missing piece of the puzzle. How do we get the right people to register for this webinar? What we have found to work amazingly with webinars are YouTube advertisements. They're so powerful, and you can laser target in on the right person you want and bring them to the webinar. If you want to learn about that, there's a video up here where I break down exactly every step that you need to take to launch a successful and profitable.
Interesting. I mean, this is good stuff here. Like, this is very simple thing, and I'm not gonna be using it exactly like this, but it's interesting. It's interesting. I wonder how they build the web page itself. Like, this is something that I'm gonna need to do, and I don't know. So initially I thought just using the Cloud Prism. So initially I just thought I'm gonna go to the Cloud Prism and I'm gonna be using this my main website as a landing page basically for the webinar. But it's kind of not really what they speak about. So maybe we can yeah, I don't know, maybe we can build some kind of another landing page with some software. I'm sure there are a lot of software that is using that. The future of webinar. What is the future of the webinar? Look at this, but I cringe so much looking at this. Which country are you from? I am from originally from Ukraine, but I'm living in Germany. Like, this is so salesy. I hate it so much. Like, this is not, I don't know. Especially the color. As soon as you see some kind of combination of yellow and green and yellowish, like, this is just screams for you. We wanna sell you, or we wanna scam you. Yeah, this is what I don't like about these things. And here's the question now. Because I don't like it, does it mean that I should still be doing it in the same way? Because those guys clearly know much better than I do, right? And they definitely earn much more money than me. So maybe I should just shut up and basically do what they do, and then see if that works or not. This is one way. Another way, I just trust my feelings, and I'm like, oh no, I know better. That's cringy. I'm gonna do it so that at least I don't cringe on that. That's also possible. But I kind of feel it's not the right way. Kind of feel that when people who are specialized in what they're doing saying that, hey, this is how you should be doing that, then just shut up and do it. Just shut up and do it. Don't overthink. Don't overthink. Just do it. But look at this. It's like so obvious. I have no idea. Like, this is so obvious that they are trying to sell you with blah 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 with a lot of text. I don't even know who reads all this text. I bet people just read with one webinar. I don't know. Especially yellow. Can someone me explain why people always using yellow? They're trying to scam you. No, I don't think so. I mean, the video was really good. Like, and the guy has almost 30,000 subscribers and quite a lot of videos. So I mean, the video is really high quality. They are really good. Um, but I don't think that they're trying to scam. They're quite good to make any sales funnel profitable.
There are so many different types of sales funnels online, and no shortage everything to do with what is underlining the funnel, the foundation, the groundwork. You know, I just had an extension done on my house, and before they were able to build the building and make it look pretty, we had to first do the groundwork, right? That was boring, it took time, but of course it was worth it because now everything above that will be stable. If we don't have a solid foundation, if we don't do the groundwork first, we can make something look pretty, we can build a nice sales funnel.
Look at this. This is funnel. That looks exactly like this, just copy paste. A huge headline, the latest marketing tool that has online marketers training, blah blah blah. Like, this is so, I don't know.
Hey, it's John Pempathy here, and listen, I have some huge news. In fact, this is the biggest announcement I've made in my entire 10-year marketing career. I revealed this live on a webinar recently, and I promised that I would not release a replay, and I'm sticking to that. However, I want to share with you the best bits because you've got to hear this news. I have achieved a lot of really cool stuff in my time online. I've generated in excess of $20 million online. I've been featured in publications like Forbes. I've hosted my own events here in London. I've spoken around the world alongside legends like Les Brown and Gary Vaynerchuk. I've received my own
Elizabeth,
awards.
hey.
We created awards for our own clients.
Welcome.
And we've had hundreds of people receiving those awards. We've done some really cool stuff, but this right here, what I'm going to reveal to you today in this video and on this page.
I feel scammed listening to this. I just by listening to it, I feel scammed already.
Absolutely takes the cake. We have a big problem in the marketing space right now, and it's taken us 4 years to build the solution, and I'm going to reveal that to you today in this video. There are 2 things we need to launch our business online for it to be successful. We need traffic and we need a funnel, and it's a bit of chicken and egg, right? Which one comes first? Well, I'll tell you the one that is most important. We could have the best traffic, right? The cheapest traffic, the most targeted traffic. We could get a big green tick on that. But if our sales funnel that we're sending that traffic to is not built for conversion,
I disagree with the guy. If you have a huge amount of traffic, let's say you have a really successful YouTube channel and you get on average 2 million views a month. Let's say you get 2 million views a month. Doesn't matter what kind of channel, what kind of funnel you have. You can sell t-shirts, you can sell courses. Yeah, maybe you can bring your conversion rate from 3 to 4% or to 5%. Yeah, it's gonna help, but it doesn't make a huge difference between you make it or you don't make it, right? So you will be able, if you have a huge traffic, you will be able to make some money, and that's gonna be already enough for most people, I think. He's bragging a lot. Yeah, but it's what keeps people listening. I agree, but this whole thing, like that, just I know it's just painful to watch because I know what they're trying to do. Like that's the point. I know what they're trying to do, and everyone knows. But it's so painful to watch. I don't know.
It's broken, then we're not going to make any money.
Not true.
On the contrary,
Disagree.
we could have traffic that is suboptimal. We could have traffic that's targeted but not very targeted, that's really expensive traffic, but traffic nonetheless. And if we're sending that traffic to a sales funnel that is optimal, that is built for conversion, then we're going to make some money. So this needs to be the priority. If we can...
The problem with that is that I couldn't, if we were to speak about, like, with this guy, he's so much more experienced than I am, but I disagree with him. Like, I don't know, what should I do? He's kind of a guru. What can I say? But I disagree so much. Like, funnel doesn't matter. Like, try to bring people through the funnel that are not your audience. That's gonna be impossible. What you gonna do with those people? Like, try what if you have, let's say you have 2 million people watching you, but all of these people are from third world countries, and you're trying to sell 3,000 mentoring program. They're not gonna buy it. Like, no matter how good is your funnel.
can figure out the funnel, then he or she who can afford to pay the most to acquire traffic wins. If we build a sales funnel that's built for conversion, then we can outpay everyone else for traffic and we're going to win. I think you know that. But trouble is, building a sales funnel is confusing, overwhelming, expensive. I've got a software in a piece of marketing. A website is still a very important asset. It's still a very valuable asset. A website is where we brand ourselves, we build authority, people begin to know, like, and trust us, but it's not built for conversion. A funnel is built for conversion. This is a screenshot of the funnel page, the opt-in page that we had for the big announcement webinar that I just finished up.
Okay, so basically they developed, I understood, man. I understood what you mean. So you developed a website, funnel, blah, blah, blah. Where's the funnel? So that's the funnel. I mean, that's good. Maybe we could use it. Like, why not? Maybe we could use it. 14 days trial. Let's see. You wanna my card immediately? Nah, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. At least not now. Yeah, this is yeah, I mean, they're really good at those things. Like, look at this. Like, they have really good videos. They have really good the funnel itself, but everything is so salesy, and this is something that stops me from really liking what they do. When we watched another one, it was much less salesy, and I liked it much more. Let's see what he said. Let's see.
But slowly but surely, the cracks will start to emerge and it'll eventually come crumbling down. The foundation in this case is our copywriting. What are we saying? Who are we saying it to? How are we going out there trying to attract people with our hooks and with the way that we're positioning our messaging? Well, there's one main thing that I want to teach you. You should write this down. Displayed understanding. I've been teaching this for a very long time now to my clients, and it is a solid foundation for any sales funnel. The idea here is that you want to be able to display that you understand your prospects. With the place that we're at with social media right now being so competitive and so crowded and no shortage of competitors for you, we have to stand out. And we often think that to stand out, it's getting expensive equipment and making our studios look more impressive or something similar. It's actually not. We can stand out just by using different words to our competition. If you are a dog trainer and you've got loads of other competitors in your space and everyone offers a similar type of dog training, then if you just put out an ad or put out a sales funnel offering your version of basically the exact same type of dog training class, then you have put yourself right in the competition. Whereas we can position ourselves better by first, before making an offer, displaying that we understand the prospect. Rather than just saying, hey, I've got a dog training class if you need help with your dog training. Instead,
I mean, that's very fundamental. It's like what I also don't like about those things is that it's very theoretical. It doesn't. So we watched only 2 minutes, but it's not gonna get better. Like I just know. Like the thing is that they only say something like, oh, you need to have really good traffic, and you know what, your traffic should be targeted, and you know what, you should address the right people, and you know what, your copy page should be good, and blah blah blah. Yeah, of course, like this is obvious. What do you expect me, that I'm gonna be sitting here and saying, hey, let me find people who I don't wanna target, who are not gonna buy from me? No, of course not. Of course I'm gonna be trying to search for people who are gonna buy from me. Of course I'm gonna try to make a good copywriting. But the problem is not that. The problem is that how. That's the problem. How do you do that? Like, it's maybe he can give some examples what were not working, what was working. Maybe he can give some examples how he did it, how he for this case and this case. Maybe he can go and look at some funnels or some landing pages and criticize, or some webinars and improve the copywriting. Those type of things. This is very hard to find because well, this is, of course, I need as much traffic as I can possibly get, and I need this traffic to be as targeted as possible. Well, here we go. Big secret.
Electricity, if you've got an electric car, then it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to move. It's not going to go forward. That for us is traffic. Now we've got two options. One is paid and one is free. And I want you to understand the differences, the pros and the cons, so that you can make an educated decision as to what's best for your business and where you're currently at. So first we have paid traffic. This would be running advertisements on platforms like Facebook or YouTube or even TikTok or LinkedIn or Google or something similar. And the pros over here is that you have the ability to turn on traffic and command traffic whenever you want. It's instantaneous, right? You launch your funnel, you want to test it out, you want to get some quick results, you don't want to wait 12 months to see how the funnel's performing, you want to wait 12 days. Well, paid traffic can do that for you, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And if you can make sure the numbers are working, meaning you're making more out the other end than you're spending on those advertisements, you're in a winning position, okay? The disadvantages, the cons, are firstly, it does cost you money, so you've got to put some money up front. There's ways to mitigate that, right? We can put it on a credit card and we've got 30 days.
Yeah, on the credit card, of course. So take your credit card and spend it to build a funnel, of course. The problem with this approach is that something I don't know if he's gonna speak about. Let's hear. Maybe he's gonna say it.
To pay it off. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm absolutely not telling you to do that, but that's something that you could think about, right? But nonetheless, we are putting some money up front to run these ads. The second disadvantage is there's no guarantees it's going to work the first time round. So you might spend some money and it's not profitable.
That's
and
the problem.
You've essentially invested that money in education. Because now you've run some ads, you now can see what doesn't work and you can go again. So you've got to have a little bit of a risk for appetite, and you need to be in a financially stable position to test. And then on the other,
this is also my problem. I tried to run paid ads on Cloud Prism. Didn't work at all. So the thing is that it didn't work because I didn't know how. That's the first thing. And the second thing is people say in a lot of cases, oh, you failed, or I failed, but I learned so much. What exactly did you learn? What did you learn out of this failure? I failed, but I invested this money into my education. Really? What did you learn? Like, what did you get smarter by that way? Like, what do you know now that you didn't know before you spent this 500 euros on paying ads to Google? For me, it was nothing. I didn't learn anything. Like, for me, when I tried to run paid ads, I just wasted basically, I think 300 or something in total. Just wasted 300, and I was like, okay, so it doesn't work, and I don't know why. I have no idea why, and just wasted the money. So the problem with paid ads is that you really need to understand what you're doing, and then after running this paid ads, I understood that actually turns out that you have to spend much more money than that. It's not enough to spend 200 euros. It's not gonna do anything with 200. You need to spend 2,000. Once you spend 2,000, then you can see if it works or not. And here's the thing. Everything can work. Everything can work if you make it work, and if you make it right. You can go and pay the agency, and the agency gonna do the ads for you, and most likely they're gonna work much better than you do it yourself. But you need for that, you need the capital, you need money to invest on that, and you need money to spend on the paid ads, and you need to make sure that at the end, the result that you get will be at least covering all the costs. And it's hard. It's much harder than people think, especially because it's painful. It involves your own money. So for most people, that's not the best way to start with, I think. Especially because you have so many free options if you just start, or if you're like me on the stages building out the business. In the beginning of the business, yeah, maybe later when you have, let's say you have like 10K a month of budget, maybe you can spend 2,000 on advertisement. But in the beginning, I tried it, and I think for me it doesn't work, and I don't think it works for most people. I think it's a little bit of scam. I don't know why I'm so skeptical about this guy. There's something about how they do it that I'm really skeptical about, because it goes so much against my own experience. I don't know if I should be that skeptical though. Maybe I should level down a little bit my skepticism, because he definitely knows more than me. So I don't know.
On the other side, you've got free traffic, and this is typically called organic marketing, right? Where we're producing content on a YouTube channel similar to this, or we're posting on Facebook or Instagram, we're building a following, we're building a relationship with those followers, and then over time, the more content you provide, the bigger your audience gets. Some of those people are going to click on your links and come into your funnel. Now, the pros are, it's completely free. It's not costing you anything financial. It is costing you your time, but it's not costing you any money. Second advantage, which is actually a really big one, is you can build up a really loyal following. And these are people that when they do take action, they take crazy action, and they're buying your products left, right, and center. They don't need much convincing to purchase because they've been watching so much of your content online. The disadvantage, and there's one main one, but it's a big one, is that it takes a long time, right? You're spending your time to produce this content, and it also takes a long time for it to take off. If you're going to start a YouTube channel, don't expect it to be producing you some great numbers for your business within the space of the first year, for example. That's going to be your learning year. That's going to be your building year. Maybe it'll take off in the second year. Maybe you'll hit a unicorn channel and it'll take off in a few months, but it's absolutely not guaranteed. Typically, with organic marketing, it's going to take a long time.
One word on it. Yes, it's completely true, but there's a reason why it takes so much time. And the reason is because you're learning how to do it. Imagine someone like a Mr. Beast? Mr. Beast? Yeah, Mr. Beast. If he were to start a new YouTube channel, it would take off immediately because he has the skills. So if you're building up your skills on YouTube and LinkedIn for sure, I know that LinkedIn is a skill. You can learn the skill. It's much harder to teach the skill, but you can learn the skill. And the reason why it takes so much time is because you're learning the skill. That's why. If you already have the skill, you can start immediately with just YouTube channel, for example.
But once you've got it, it's a great asset for the business. So what do I recommend? Well, first things first, it comes down to your budget. Okay, if you don't have any money, if you are literally building this business on a shoestring budget, and if you were to run some paid advertisements and it not be profitable, you can't put food on the table that week, then you should absolutely discount paid advertising and you must focus on organic. There's no other option. You can only do what's within your means, right? However, if you do have a bit of appetite for risk, got it the right way around that time, and you are wanting to spend a bit of money on paid ads to get things moving, then I would suggest you have a mixture of the two. Because your paid ads is going to be your short-term win, and your organic marketing is going to be your long-term win. And so you kind of want both of them working together for you. Paid ads, getting the whole thing moving, getting the vehicle down the runway, and you've got your organic marketing efforts that's setting up the future of your business and creating a loyal following. So a mixture of the two. And if you do want to run some paid ads and you want to know what works best, for me, it's been YouTube advertising. I've spent millions and millions running ads on YouTube with great success. And if you want to learn more about how to run it, I've got...
That's interesting. So I will take a risk. So I will take a risk, guys, and I'm gonna try to run ads. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna run them exactly. YouTube, maybe, actually, maybe, possible, for the course. But I will definitely try. And let's see how it's gonna work. I don't have a huge budget though. I have a budget of let's say 1,000 maybe. And I'm gonna find a consultancy, a company that actually specializes in running ads. I'm gonna ask them so that they show me everything, and I'm gonna spend 1,000 or 2,000 maximum on those ads. And but that's gonna be the next step. Once we have the funnel ready, and once we have the date when we actually launch the course, I'm gonna prepare all the marketing so that basically I click on the button and we start the webinar. We start the email sequence for the webinar. We start the after webinar email sequence, and we start the ads that gonna drive the traffic into the webinar page. That's the idea. That's the plan for the next couple of weeks. But for today, that's gonna be it. One thing that I did, by the way, who is watching this? If you watched till here, join the Discord. Like, we're hanging out there. Like, why not? If you watched till here, just join the Discord. It's gonna be fun. Today's video coming out about Discord, and I think more people gonna join the Discord. So that would be quite nice. I'm basically wanna build up the community of people who wanna kind of grind a little bit and go and build a business. And I'll be quite happy to see you all there. And for everyone else, guys, see you tomorrow the same time as always. This was the day number 38, streaming every single day without any breaks, without any weekends, without any polls, nothing. 38 days straight every single day, and tomorrow gonna be 39, and then it's gonna be 40, 41, and like this until I build a profitable business. Thank you everyone, and see you.